Welcome back, viewers. Let's take a listen at the topic of this bulletin. The COVID-19 cases continue to surge nationwide, with the total number of active cases now reaching at 1200 mark from 1100 yesterday, with over 800 new cases reported within just a week's time. While doctors continue to assure that the cases are mild and there is no cause of worry, but the states have issued guidelines asking people to take the necessary precautions against the transmission of COVID-19 cases. Arzu Seth is joining me with more details. Arzu, COVID cases continue to be on a surge. The number of cases reported in a week have also seen a huge spike in the national capital as the health centers and the hospitals prepare for dealing with the spike and the overload on the health infrastructure. What are the arrangements being made ahead of this big spike?
India is witnessing a rapid surge in the COVID-19 cases, with the total active cases reaching to 1,251. In fact, in this Kerala leads with the highest number of active cases with the 430, and also followed by Maharashtra with the 325 cases. So if you see, the Karnataka, Delhi, all the states in fact have seen the surge in the COVID-19 cases. And if we talk about the casualties, the country has seen 13 deaths due to COVID. But what the expert has to say, this might be due to the any past disease, not only the effect of COVID. So yes, there is no need to panic. This is what the expert has to say. And amid the rising rising COVID-19 cases, the state government has intensifying precautions and urging the public to avoid the big gathering in case of if you feel any sickness, or the health authorities emphasize the importance to continue safety measures to prevent further spread. In fact, if we talk about the state government, also the Karnataka health minister has urged the public to remain calm while emphasizing the importance of continued precautions to stop the further spread. And also direction has been given to the officials to remain vigilant and also fully prepared for any escalation or surge, stressing the need for special protection for high risk group like elderly people, pregnant women, and especially children. So all these guidelines have been issued to the hospitals, and health experts urges the people to take precautions and not to panic, stressing that the virus is now endemic and also could be managed with the rational testing, timely care, and also continued protection of vulnerable group. And it is also being said that taking precautions is the most important thing, and also to take care of yourself. If we talk about the national capital, also here also the advisory have been issued. Delhi Health Minister Pankaj Singh has in fact told that everything is normal in Delhi. If we talk about the current active cases, it's around 104, and also he said that new variant has only shown symptoms of the viral fever so far, and urged the people not to panic. And he said that the government has sent health advisories to all the government hospitals, and also asked them to fully prepare for any
Well, all right,
sudden
Arzu, thank you very much for adding these details and also apprising us of the current situation prevailing in the national capital as far as dealing with the COVID surge is concerned. Now, from there, let's also shift our focus to the COVID spike in Karnataka, which has 100 active cases of COVID and 36 new positive COVID cases have been recorded. Out of the 100 active cases that Karnataka has reported, over 70 were recorded in the city of Bangalore itself. The surge can be attributed to the fact that Bangalore has the highest population in the state. All right, Belly Thomas is joining me live on the broadcast with more details. Belly, if we talk about Bangalore, in fact, it is quite concerning as the way in which the COVID cases are continuing to rise in Bangalore, in Karnataka. It seems like the city could possibly be the hotspot if the trend continues.
Simran, absolutely. The numbers, that is from the 100 cases that have been tested positive in Karnataka, around 73 to 80 are from Bengaluru, is what we hear from the health department. However, health department says that there is no need to press any panic button, and since there is the testing numbers have risen, like the department has directed all the hospitals to increase the number of RT-PCR testings and across Bengaluru, which has a lot of population from people coming from outside, and there is a lot of floating population here, and that is the reason why the testing numbers have been increased, and this is the reason why Bengaluru holds the highest number of active cases at present. However, as we speak, on Monday there were 70 cases, and on Tuesday there were 36 new cases that were tested positive. However, on Wednesday there were around 16 people who got discharged, and among these approximately 100 active cases, we are told by the health department that only 4 of them are hospitalized. All the rest of them have been, though they have been tested positive, they have been sent to their home and advised isolation and just treat the conditions with paracetamol and other related drugs. So this is the condition here, and the Chief Minister has called in for a review meeting with the Karnataka Health Minister Dinesh Gundurao, the Medical Education Minister Sharan Prakash Patil, the Health Department officials, and also the task force officials, and had directed the hospitals to stock all the medical supplies such as oxygen, the remdesivir injection, and the other hospital beds infrastructure as well. So he also reiterated that there is no absolute necessity of panicking at this point of time. However, we will be analyzing this situation very carefully and directing the health department officials to take care of this crisis properly. And,
all right, Belly.
Also
thank you very much for sharing more updates from Karnataka about the COVID-19 surge and the spike on the cases. Now, Maharashtra is currently also leading in the nation in the COVID-19 fatalities. While there is a normal spike in the COVID-19 cases from many states, now Maharashtra is in fact in one of the top spots for leading in the fatalities, which have come forward at this point of time as COVID makes a comeback. Maharashtra has reported 5 deaths amid the resurgence of the cases. Of the state's 325 active cases, a staggering 316 are concentrated in Mumbai itself, highlighting the city's disproportionate burden. Health officials emphasize that while most infections are mild, the recent fatalities often involving individuals are underlying health conditions, underscore the need for the continued vigilance. All right. Sudhakar Kashyap is there with me live on the broadcast. Viewers, amid the active surge of COVID-19 cases in Maharashtra, Sudhakar, what are you picking up as far as the number of deaths that have been recorded in Maharashtra is also on a rise? What are the health officials saying on the reason behind more number of deaths reported from Maharashtra?
महाराष्ट्र में और ज्यादातर मुंबई में जो कोविड के पेशेंट बढ़ रहे हैं, कल का जो आंकड़ा था वो 83 था, 83 पेशेंट्स पॉजिटिव आए हैं। उसमें से मुंबई में 75 के आसपास है, बाकी कल्याण थाना में भी ज्यादा पॉजिटिव आ रहे हैं। और ये जो पॉजिटिव सब आ रहे हैं सिटी एरिया में ज्यादातर पॉजिटिव आ रहे हैं, और इसके लिए खास स्पेशल वार्ड भी बनाया गया है। बहुत से हॉस्पिटल में है, हर हॉस्पिटल में है एक वार्ड बनाया गया है, आइसोलेशन वार्ड है। वहां पर कामा हॉस्पिटल में आइसोलेशन वार्ड बनाया गया है लेडीज के लिए और वो बच्चों के लिए। और ये मतलब ये जो है पूरा सरकार का जो काम चालू है ये पूरे महाराष्ट्र लेवल पे चालू है, और महाराष्ट्र में ये कोविड ना बढ़े इसके लिए सरकार एहतियात ले रही है।
All right, Sudhakar, thank you very much for sharing the latest details. And in fact, now let's also shift our focus to other developments from Kerala, where Kerala has emerged as the epicenter of India's latest COVID-19 surge, reporting 430 active cases, the highest in the country. Since the May 19th, the state has recorded 335 new infections and a total number of 2 fatalities. Health officials in Kerala attribute the rise to the spread of the new Omicron subvariant NB181 and LF7, which, while more transmissible, are not linked to increased severity. Nationwide active cases have crossed the 1,000 mark, prompting authorities to urge continued vigilance and adhere to the safety protocol. Rajkiran is joining me with more details. Rajkiran, as the health officials in Kerala have warned the transmission and attributed it to be in fact due to the Omicron variant, what are you picking, Rajkiran, as far as Kerala tops India with most number of active cases, as while other states have the cases, but when we talk about the active cases, the transmission rate in Kerala is going to be in fact a state of worry.
Yes, Simran, the Kerala state is top in the list of corona cases, which has reported 430 active cases in Kerala state. Till now, 430 active cases and 2 deaths have been reported in Kerala states. When we see before last week, Kerala has reported only 93 cases, but within 1 week, it has increased to more than 250 cases. So the people of Kerala are panicking now. Why? Because highest COVID cases has been reported in Kerala. Why, as we also heard from the medical department that all the arrangements has been made to stop this spike, which is going highest in the country. So now the medical department have taken all the arrangement. A special COVID wards has been set up in the Kerala state, and PPE kits are available, and oxygen is available, and ventilators are available, and separate wards for the COVID patients has been set up in Kerala. So there is all this setup has been made by the Kerala government. There is no need to panic. This is what we heard from the Kerala Health Department. And when we see in the southern parts, like Tamil Nadu, 69 cases has been reported in Tamil Nadu, whereas in Andhra Pradesh, only 4 cases. Telangana had only 1 active case till now. So when we comparatively see all this, throughout the India, Kerala has reported 430 active cases in last 1 week. More than 300 cases has been reported in Kerala till now, and all the arrangements has been made by the Kerala government. So there is no need to panic. This is what we heard from the Health Department of Kerala.
All right,
Simran.
Rajkiran, thank you very much for sharing more details and also in fact giving us an update of how the health officials and the authorities in Kerala are mulling to find a strategy to deal with the COVID-19 cases surge. From there, let's shift our focus to more developments coming from, in fact, Jammu Kashmir, where a joint team of security forces have arrested 2 terror associates in South Kashmir's Shopian district. They have seized a huge cache of arms and ammunition and incriminating material. What you can see on your screens is the image of the 2 terrorists exclusively accessed by Newsx. The 2 terrorists named Irfan Bashir and Uzair Ahmed Bhatt are the residents of Zainapura area of Jammu and Kashmir, which have been intercepted during the Naka checking operation at the Baskucha area in Shopian. The seized items include AK-56 rifles, 4 magazines, 102 rounds of 7.62 39 mm ammunition. Also recovered were the 2 hand grenades and 2 pouches, where 5,400 cash was also recovered, while a mobile phone, a smartwatch, 2 biscuit packets and an Aadhaar card have also been recovered by the security agencies. Ashik Mir is joining me with more details and in fact to share information. Ashik, this is the latest breakthrough that has been achieved by the local police as arms and ammunition in huge quantity have been recovered. 2 terrorists have been nabbed, and I believe this is going to be in fact a big milestone for the security agencies to also nab the perpetrators behind the terrorist attack as well. Share more details.
Well, absolutely, Simran. This is a big success for the security forces in which 2 terrorists have been apprehended. And this was the joint security forces Naka, which was laid in Shopian, Baskura area. And after receiving input about the terrorist presence in this area, security forces launched the operation, and these two terrorists were hiding in an apple orchard, and they were apprehended after apprehended. The recovery of arms and ammunition were made from their position, and after showing their identity, and they were both affiliated with the Lashkar-e-Toiba terror outfit. And there are multiple anti-terror operations ongoing in South Kashmir after the deadliest attack on 22 April in Baisar and Pahalgam. And the security forces are receiving multiple inputs about the presence of terrorists in these areas. And a joint checkpoint was launched. Acha was laid in Shopian after receiving input about these terrorists, and both are identified as a local terrorist, and they have been recruited a year ago, and they were given task by the Lashkar that how to target civilian and non-locals and security forces, and the huge ammunition of arms and ammunition were recovered from their position, including 2 AK-56 rifles and 4 magazines, including some bullets and other cash as well. So far, there are anti-terror operations ongoing in South Kashmir as well as in North Kashmir, and this is a big success for the security agency.
All right, Ashik, thank you very much with these latest details. Now, let's also take a look at other developments. In a diplomatic engagement, Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri has met with the US Deputy Secretary Christopher Landau in Washington today. Landau has reaffirmed the strong US-India partnership, calling it a pillar of the 21st century foreign policy. He has stressed the need for the fair and the reciprocal market access to boost the prosperity in both the nations. Both the leaders have also committed to the deeper cooperation on migration and counter-narcotics as the meeting concluded with the shared pledge to maintain the peace and stability in the region, highlighting the growth strategic alignment between the two democracies. All right, as Vikram Misri, the Foreign Secretary, has been on an ambitious and strategic tour to Washington. This is the latest meeting that has happened, with also putting forward the India's agenda. US Deputy Speaker is in talks with Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri, where they have affirmed the India-US ties. All right, Aditya Vadhavan, my colleague, is joining me with more details. Aditya, Misri Landau meeting has happened, and now, in fact, India's strategic partner is what US recognizes through the efforts by the Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri. The reciprocal, in fact, dialogues have taken place. What are you picking up with the agenda that was at the center stage of the dialogues between both the nations?
Well, absolutely. You see, has gone to the United States, so as to increase the collaboration between the two countries as far as emerging technologies is concerned, And during the meeting with Landau, Vikram Misri also discussed this, how both the countries can, join hands, to get cutting edge technology. Because remember, these days, warfare is also all technological oriented, and US has some cutting edge technologies, be it drone technology, be it artificial intelligence, because these days it is an era, we are living in an era where artificial intelligence is also being increasingly used in the warfare. So at this juncture, it is very important to forge strategic partnerships with like-minded nations like United States of America. Yes, Simran.
Well, all right, Aditya, I'll request you to kindly stay on with us, as the India-US ties are crucial for the foreign policy. Let's also take a look at the other developments, where the all-party parliamentary delegation, which is led by the Congress MP Shashi Tharoor, has met with the Panamanian Foreign Minister Javier Martínez Acha in Panama City. The discussions have focused on deepening the diplomatic ties and addressing this global security concerns. In a very strong message, Tharoor has condemned the use of terrorism as a political tool and urged the international accountability. Speaking with the Panamanian Foreign Minister, Tharoor has said terrorism should not be a resort of attempting to address the international disputes. Those who protect, finance or train terrorists must also be accountable. In fact, this the Congress MP has said during the meeting. Let's listen in.
Some of you have asked me, and I think I'll answer that question now, why it is that we were so sure that these terrorists had come from Pakistan. There are three reasons, my friends. The first is that we have seen a pattern for almost 4 decades of repeated terror attacks, which have been always denied by Pakistan and then proven to involve people based in, created by, armed by, financed by, guided by Pakistan, by elements in Pakistan. I would not blame the entire government or the state. There are elements in the military establishment of that state that have done this. You all remember the horrors of Mumbai in 2008. You all remember 170 people being killed in 3 or 4 locations, innocent people at hotels having dinners and celebrations who were killed in pursuance of this malign agenda. You all remember how Pakistan claimed that they did not know where Osama bin Laden was and that they thought he was dead, and he was found in a safe house right next to an army cantonment in a city that is a headquarters, a major garrison of the Pakistan army. This has been the record of Pakistan time after time after time. So our first set of reasons is when there is a pattern established and proven over many decades, you have no reason to disbelieve that suddenly this came from.
Aditya Vadavan, my colleague, is there with me live on the broadcast. Now, Aditya, we've just heard Congress MP Shashi Tharoor speaking about how exactly India has been clear about the agenda and putting forward the fight against terrorism. As he meets the foreign minister of Panama in the city, he has put forward, in fact, the delegation's stand clearly visible on fighting with the terrorist forces. What are you picking up as the next part and the next plan of the crucial visit led by the Congress MP Shashi Tharoor in the delegation focuses at?
Well, absolutely, Simran, the Shashi Tharoor has, rightly pointed that, now terrorists will have no safe haven, and, it is a very effective way of, globally isolating Pakistan, because Pakistan for years now has been harboring terrorists and, and continues to, keep the UN designated. It's the Pakistani role, and the Panama side also stands with India, and they are standing united against terrorism. Yes, Simran.
Well, all right, Aditya, stay on with us, as what we are learning next is that the all-party delegation led by the JDU MP Sanjay Jha took part in the interactive session with the like-minded think tanks and academics in Jakarta in Indonesia. As they yesterday made a pit stop in the country, the delegation has reaffirmed India's stance on the zero tolerance against terrorism in the discussions. Moreover, the discussions focused on enhancing bilateral ties, regional cooperation and shared democratic values. Speaking at the meeting, the delegation leader Sanjay Jha has said that from hereafter, India will not make any distinction between terrorists and the country that promotes them. We will not accept any nuclear blackmail, and also in fact has said a statement. Let's listen in.
This delegation in front of you today includes parties both from ruling as well as opposition, parties from across the breadth and span of India, thus representing an unified and bipartisan voice of India, which is determined to defeat terrorism in all its form and manifestation. At the outset, allow me to place on record our sincere appreciation for the government of Indonesia and particularly President Prabowo for the clear statement condemning the terror attack in Pahalgaon in Jammu and Kashmir and for expressing solidarity with the people of India. He had stated that such atrocities are unjustifiable regardless of the motive, time, place or perpetrators. This is a strong source of strength for India. Yesterday, our delegation had productive official meeting, including with the Vice Chairman of Inter-Parliamentary Cooperation, the Chairperson of India-Indonesia Parliamentary Friendship Group, the Secretary General of ASEAN, and the Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs of Indonesia. In all our interaction, the message from Indonesia was clear that unequivocal condemnation for act of terrorism and of a policy of zero tolerance for terrorism in India. Today we are meeting with a prominent think tank and members of the academia in Indonesia, which serve as an invaluable catalyst in formulating innovative counter-terrorism policy. The purpose of this interaction is to brief India's point of view and our strategy to tackle the menace of terrorism henceforth emanating from Pakistan. The terrorist attack in Jammu and Kashmir was carried out with nefarious design to disrupt normalcy and to provoke communal disharmony in India.
Well, all right, Anand Tiwari is joining me live on the broadcast with more updates on this. Anand, we have just heard the statement by the JDU MP Sanjay Jha on, in fact, the delegation stand and their resolve to reply to the action of the terrorists. They are having a deliberation on the think tank's stand, also on the nuclear blackmail that Pakistan has issued. What are you picking up as the delegation led by Sanjay Kumar Jha is slated to now make a stop to the next country?
Yes, and look, the way in which this delegation led by Sanjay Kumar Jha had already held interactions with several of the government officials in Japan, South Korea, and also in Singapore. So now they have arrived in Indonesia and they have highlighted that how India has been a victim of the Pakistan-sponsored terrorism and how the Panama terror attacks were carried out here on April 22, in which several of the innocent tourists were killed. So he clearly highlighted with several of the Indonesian parliamentarians, the Asian Secretary General over there, and several of the other government officials and the Vice President of the Foreign Affairs of Indonesia. So they all condemned the kind of terror attack and terrorism happening in India, and they also said that they are going to adopt the policy of the zero tolerance, that is the Indonesia policy too. So they are not going to accept this kind of terror threats. And even Sanjay Jha made it very clear, he made it point blank for all the countries that India is not going to listen to what nuclear blackmails are, and if anyone is making nuclear threats, as India has every right to respond to terrorism and the countries who are promoting terrorism from their own soil. So this has been the stand of India as the Indian delegation is engaging with several of the members over there in Indonesia, which also includes the think tanks and academia. And they have unequivocally, they have supported India's stand for its policy on zero tolerance towards terrorism. So clearly, India has been able to make this very clear to the world leaders that India is not going to accept such kind of terror acts and terrorism in any form on its soil that is sponsored from other countries. And the Indian delegation has also been highlighting during their visit to several of the countries that how Pakistan's soil was used for promoting such terror acts in India, and how not only in Pahalgam, but before Pahalgam too, whether it was 26/11 Mumbai terror attack in which more than 167 people were killed when they were having dinner or having celebrations at several of the hotels, or several of the people were killed at CSMT railway station in Mumbai.
All right, Anand, thank you very much with more updates and details that you have shared with us. And now, let's also take, in fact, a look at the other developments. In a statement that has been issued on social media platform X, US Secretary of State Marco Rubio has announced that US will begin the revoking visas of Chinese students, including those with the ties to the Communist Party or enrolled in the sensitive fields. New guidance from the US State Department is increasing scrutiny of international students, part of President Donald Trump's broader push to tighten the control over the foreign enrollments in higher education. Aditya Vadhavan is there with us live on the broadcast. US is going to begin invoking the visas, a part of the crackdown on the international students. Is also like to impact the Indian students studying in the US. What are you picking up on that, Aditya?
See, this will impact the prospects of Indian students, who wish to pursue higher education from the United States. However, these restrictions won't apply to the current students who are currently enrolled in the universities across the United States of America. However, this can be thought as a strong stance of Trump administration as a strong immigration policy. So at this juncture, it needs to be seen, how Trump going forward, Trump administration, deals with the issue of foreign students, because many of the foreign students, who come to the United States for higher education, pursue quality research projects and stuff like that. So it is essential, to note, how things go forward in this domain. Yes, Simran.
All right. Thank you, Aditya, for sharing more details. Now, viewers, on that note, with more news and updates on the other side, stay tuned.